back to Stadium Journey Podcast Goes to the Movies, Part 2. It's the sequel. Sequels are always better than the original, right?
No? Only if you're Ghostbusters.
Godfather.
Hey, that's something we could talk about. Sequels that have been better than the original. But anyway, we hope everyone out there is taking care of themselves during this time of social distancing. And while you're practicing your proper social distancing, you know, you've got time in your hands. Go to our website, stadiumjourney.com. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram pages. We got them all at Stadium Journey. And the Stadium Journey podcast is proud to be part of the VOC Nation Radio Network. To find all of our old episodes, and they're piling up. This is our third season. Type VOC Nation into your smartphone podcast app. You can listen to all our shows there. And we also stream live on twitch.tv/danlaw83. And we're on Facebook Live now. It's a whole new world. We're bad. We're nationwide, as ZZ Top would say.
Yeah, we're
Facebook
nationwide.
Live,
Twitter
Live, and YouTube.
YouTube Live, yeah.
Is it YouTube Live, or is it just YouTube?
It's YouTube Live when it works. YouTube Live's not working right now, but that's because I think I forgot a step in the process.
That's all right. We're so many places you can find us anywhere.
You know what? I might use this week. We're going to do some little maintenance on the air. I might use this week to decide if I use YouTube for the edited stuff and not do live streams there, because we're getting just enough interactivity on Twitter, Twitch, and Facebook that YouTube I just might put the edited stuff up there for YouTube.
Hey, and all you guys listening to us right now live, we appreciate you so much. So let me take a minute and reintroduce our starting lineup. It's a doubleheader today. Dave Cotney, you can follow him at ProFan9. Mark Viquez, you can follow him at Ballpark Hunter. Follow our producer, the above-average comedian, Dan Calachico, at DanLaw83. And I am Paul Baker. You can follow me at PuckmanRI. So I hope everyone in between the two episodes here went to the bathroom, did what you need to do, got a cold drink, refilled your popcorn, because we're going to talk more movies. We're going to start with some football flicks. So,
Invincible's the best. Goodbye.
Hey, I can't disagree with you. I love it. We'll get to that in a minute. So what makes football movies special when you compare them to other sports movies, guys? I stumped the panel.
I don't know.
That might not have it on my list.
I don't know.
Vince Papale! No.
I think it's the opportunity to have so many different characters that are so divergent. You know, very, I guess, similar to baseball movies where you know again you also have the opportunity to have so many different characters. You know, basketball and hockey seems to be fewer characters that are focused on. My absolute most favorite sports movie of all time is actually.
All right, Dave, how about you go first?
I'll go first. My favorite sports movie of all time is actually Friday Night Lights. And,
really?
It's just so. It's some of the things that I like about it are just so bizarre. My favorite scenes are when they're driving around in the car and they're listening to the radio, and these absolute nut jobs calling into these sports radio shows talking about high school football. It is. We were talking last time about the Disney ending, and there's some Disney football movies, of course. Yeah. Friday Night Lights does not have the Disney ending.
I'm trying to remember Friday Night Lights.
Wow. Yeah, it's you know,
was that
Billy
the
Bob
one with
Thornton
the
as the
bikini
coach.
the girl had?
Yes.
Yes. Varsity Blues.
No, yeah,
Ali
that
Larder,
one.
Varsity Blues.
The beautiful Ali Larder. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, Friday Night
We're getting
Lights.
Mark in more trouble. Sorry, Dave.
Hey, school football in Texas. But yeah, probably the most serious football movie. I don't know.
All right. Any other favorites you want to talk about while you're going? You got the mic.
Yeah. Before we take it away again.
Unlike many, I do like Any Given Sunday.
Dude,
it's just so all over the place. So
If you ever saw a director that was
snorting,
snorting,
supposed to be the Miami Dolphins, but the NFL said no way.
If you
nothing to do with this movie.
If you ever wanted to know what it was like to make a movie snorting a ton of amount of coke, Oliver Stone's Any Given Sunday is what it's like. And Al Pacino as a head. Listen, it's Al Pacino. He's great. Everybody in that movie's great. Yeah. But man, you could tell that he was like, okay, what's next?
And you know what? Jim Brown really
man
together in this sort of side role, right? Like where he's the defensive guy and he's just so, he's so calm and it's almost like he's beaten down. Al Pacino is also, but just in such a different way. I don't know. Jim Brown's really the guy that I really like in that one. My favorite Disney sports movie is probably We Are Marshall.
I haven't seen that one.
That's one to get the tears going there too, right? Where he's gone to Indianapolis and he's on the doorsteps of the NCAA office in the rain and he's just begging to get freshmen to be able to play and that's being based on a true story. Having seen Marshall play football, not at Marshall, but they're a school that travels really, really well. And to hear them, scream out, "We are Marshall." I know, like Penn State does that, and other schools do it too.
Well, they were the first.
And maybe
right?
they did it first, but man, "We Are Marshall"
means something.
Marshall does it the best. Yeah.
All right, cool. Mark, did you want to go? I saw your hand up.
You know what? Yeah, I do want to go. Here's a movie that I don't know if this is going to be anybody's list, but I love the movie Leatherheads with George Clooney and Paul Krasinski. Anybody remember it?
No.
I haven't seen it.
Football in the 1920s, and it's sort of based on the Duluth Eskimos. It's a little bit based off.
I'm going to throw it way back when I get to my favorites.
About early football. From that aspect, I like the look and I like the feel of it. Is you can see my favorite movies is when they take place a long time ago and they try to set the design. It's a little goofy in some aspects because there's that whole Renee Zellweger love affair between the two main actors that is a little bit. Yeah, they threw that in there to get some girls to go see a football movie with their boyfriends and husbands. But take a look at it. I'm not saying it's the best movie. It's enjoyable, and I do like that movie. It's I don't know if it's a guilty pleasure. I just I wish it was on more so I can watch it a few more times. But I did enjoy that.
Go Dave. Go Dan. I mean,
yeah. I'm Dan. That's Dave down there.
Dave, Dan.
I'm gonna have to oddball it, and these are legitimately. Will Brooks already hit it in Facebook. Will Brooks said The Longest Yard, the original.
Yes, that was on my list. Yeah,
that is. One. I love that movie. I like the remake, but you can't beat. Everybody was on their game for the original.
We were talking about how Slapshot looked gritty. Longest Yard looks gritty.
Oh yeah, just looked dirty and disgusting, and it looked like it was filmed like it was actually happening and not a movie. I will say that Slapshot looks like that. I just hate that movie. I'm gonna get someone every time I mention it. The heat gets renewed.
Don't go back. Don't go
back. No, I'm not going back. The Replacements. Yeah, I like that. I love that movie. I don't know why it was a guilty pleasure. It started as a guilty pleasure. I found out that a lot more people like it. It's one of my favorite sports movies. I can't tell you why. I just like that movie.
It's okay.
Rev said that the original Longest Yard was better because of the wrestlers. Well, I was trying not to nail it so much on the head, Rev, but yes.
Well, you have a drop kick in it. Burt Reynolds is more believable as a quarterback than Adam Sandler.
No, Adam Sandler was in good shape, man. He looks like a little guy that couldn't do anything but throw a ball. It looks ugly.
And I love that Burt Reynolds was in the remake.
Yes, he was.
That was great.
What was the guy's name? Yarborough, is that his name? The older guy, yeah.
Kent Yarborough, yeah. Oh, Stephen Key says the reason why I like The Replacement so much, and I have to agree, Keanu Reeves. Yes, that's why.
Keanu Reeves has made a couple of appearances on our list here. Wow, we've talked about football movies for, a good 10 minutes, and nobody mentioned Rudy.
Because it's a piece of crap.
Oh no, Rudy was good.
I have to block. No. All right, who said it on the
article today before and getting ready for the show? It says 10 reasons why Rudy is crap.
Because it's crap.
Check it out. It was pretty funny.
Hold on, I have to see who wrote the original. Oh, Stephen Key. Stephen Key says, "Please block anyone that says Rudy." Well, Paul, you're all fired.
See you, Stephen.
Hey,
I'm not saying it's my favorite. I'm just
make...
saying it. A lot of people, that's their favorite football movie.
It is.
For a lot of people.
Yeah.
It really is.
I hate that movie.
Especially where I am.
They made it exciting that the guy played 2 downs of football.
I hate
right?
that movie so much.
One of the probably the most interesting piece was the part right at the end that no player since whatever year that was, 1977, 75, no player in Notre Dame history has been carried off the field since Rudy.
No, good. Notre Dame's also.
Is there an actual broadcast of that game that we can watch? Is that?
And I don't want to get into where the movies diverge from the truth because all movies diverge, and that one Rudy's been done to death. How inaccurate it is, so I don't want to even get into that. But I want to talk about a couple. I'm gonna go when I get to my turn. I'm gonna go way back because
I was shocked. I was shocked that Rudy was the son of Gomez Adams. So
John Astin, hell yeah.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That blew my mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
a couple recent
Patty
movies.
Duke, right?
Yeah, he was. Invincible. Dan, you mentioned that as we opened up. I like Invincible.
I'm impartial to that movie.
Isn't it Rudy in Philly?
Yeah,
Rudy
pretty
in
much.
Philly. He played for 2 professional teams in Philly. Okay, go ahead.
Did he?
Yeah, WFL, Philadelphia Bell.
Oh. So he wasn't quite the underdog the movie makes him out to be. He was a decent player.
Yeah.
And you know what one? Another recent one that's good. Radio.
Radio's that's a hidden gem. I agree with you on that.
All right, but for most of my favorite football movies.
Paul, wait.
What?
Did we say something that made you laugh?
Stephen Key. My mom was up for the role of Rudy. That's how ridiculous it is.
All right, I want to go way back. We want to talk about funny football movies.
That's funny.
We want to talk about funny football movies. The funniest football movie was made way back in the 30s.
Oh, Marx
Horse
Brothers.
Feathers.
Yep.
Horse Feathers.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah, Marx Brothers.
The movie is about a college back in the 30s, I guess.
Yeah, back in the 30s.
The football scene in that movie is just so off the wall, crazy, funny. You'll be rolling. I don't know. I love the Marx Brothers anyway. I could watch their movies. I could be in a clinical depression.
Forrest Gump does not count, Rev.
Forrest Gump.
Forrest Gump. Yeah, he's a football player in college.
Football in it. Well, that's like we didn't talk when we talked baseball movies. We didn't mention The Naked Gun.
No.
It's not a baseball movie. No.
Jerry Maguire, a football movie.
Yeah, well, because it deals directly with football.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It is.
Flash Gordon.
Sure, and that's a football movie with Queen in it. Yeah, we'll count that. Flash.
Save every one of us.
All right, guys. I'm going to show my age here compared to all you guys in some of my favorite football movies because most of them come from the 70s. Brian song.
Oh, tearjerker.
I do.
Have you guys ever seen Brian
with James Caan. Yep.
James Caan, Billy D.
You want a good cry? Watch it, David.
Brian's song.
You're shaking your head no. Oh, yeah, you'll cry. You will cry. We were talking about Rudy. You guys remember the Friends episode where one of the characters comes in and he's crying, and Joey says to him, "What, did you just watch Rudy?" A total throwaway line, but every time I hear it, I laugh hysterically.
I'm crying because I pressed play on Rudy.
All right, how about these movies? Let me know if you guys have seen these movies. North Dallas 40.
No, sir.
Years ago as a kid.
Yeah, Mac Davis and a young Nick Nolte, I believe. These are, like you said, these were gritty movies. North Dallas 40 talked about the drug use in football at the time and stuff like that, and injuries and guys shooting up to play, and it was a good movie. Heaven Can Wait, underrated football movie.
Yeah,
Warren Beatty.
Yeah, underrated for sure.
How about The Best of Times?
It was okay.
Robin Williams.
I'll have to see it again. Kurt Russell.
Yep.
Yeah. Who played?
All right, how about Semi-Tough? Burt Reynolds did a lot of football movies, man.
That's like a lot of these movies came out when I was a kid, so I used to think Semi-Tough was the longest yard. So, because Burt Reynolds was in it.
How about Everybody's All American? You guys remember that movie?
Oh, is that with Dennis Quaid?
Dennis Quaid, yeah.
Yeah.
God, I am old. I have no idea what you're talking
after his
about.
career ends.
No, I remember when it came out, but I didn't see it.
Hey, and how about Ronald Reagan in Newt Rockne All American?
That's one of the first movies to take football seriously.
Oh yes, we're gonna take this seriously.
So I don't know. I don't enjoy football movies as much as some of the other ones. We didn't talk about Remember the Titans either. How about that one?
Oh boy, what about Wildcats? Goldie Hawn.
Wildcats
That was mentioned in the Facebook chat. Yeah,
with a young Woody Harrelson.
And
The Blind Side.
Yeah, Blind Side is kind of stretches the truth a little bit from what my wife tells me.
Phil Collins' daughter's in that.
Mm-hmm.
Plays
Wesley
the daughter.
Snipes is in Wildcats as well.
So Paul, do you have like a guilty football movie? Or
Oh, I do.
I do have a guilty one.
I have a guilty one. The Water Boy.
Yes.
Will Brooks.
Will Brooks. I think you were saying it before, Mark. Anywhere I am, no matter what I'm doing, if the Water Boy's on, I'm gonna watch it. I don't care if I pick it up halfway through. And I could probably sit there, and Pam will attest to this, and I would drive her crazy whenever the Water Boy comes on. I could do every line in the movie. and I'll talk in my Bobby Boucher voice sometimes. Tackling feud.
My guilty football movie is one of those ones. It's totally brainless. There's not much to it. It's a good one to just throw on if you're tired and you kind of want to have a snooze. Necessary Roughness.
Yeah,
like I said, there's not much there, but it's super light. A couple of good lines. I love the announcer in that one. Oh, we were talking Major League, and I didn't talk about Bob Uecker.
Oh, yeah.
How dare you?
It's
Sorry,
too
Bob.
late. Too late. Well, that's okay.
Edit that in, Dan.
No, absolutely not.
That in
Just a bit outside. There, we said it.
Absolutely not.
Bob Uecker kind of made his career on that movie, didn't he? Or he rejuvenated it.
I think the world. Well, I don't know.
Mr. Belvedere.
Mr. Belvedere. He was on Johnny Carson a lot in the '70s. So
Bob Uecker also was in the WWF for a long time doing WrestleManias, and he's got one of my favorite moments with Andre the Giant, where Andre the Giant's just cutting this promo, and he's cutting this promo with his hand over Uecker's shoulder, and after the interview, Uecker just looks at him and goes, "Hey, you might get I forget what you might get your foot off my shoulder, pal." He just strangles him. Uecker was good.
Oh my God. I'm glad I'm not looking at the Facebook live chat.
No, don't ever.
You guys are hilarious.
Yeah, I know. I'm trying to skip most of it because if I don't, we'll just do that.
All right. Anything else with football, guys?
No, please move on.
Moving on.
All right. Let's move on to some hoops, some basketball. And I want to I'm going to go first here. I noticed, for some reason, more so than any other sport, pro basketball players are in a lot of basketball movies.
yes, they are.
I'm gonna real. We've been playing a long time.
I'm not editing that either.
Okay, good. Here's a list of some NBA players who were in movies. Jamal Wilkes was in Earl, Cornbread, and Me. I mean, a lot of these are back from the 70s.
Oh.
Bernard King was in Fast Break. You remember Fast Break with Gabe Kaplan?
Gabe Kaplan and Kate Jackson.
Yes.
What a winning combination.
Julius Erving was in The Classic, The Fish.
The Fish. Oh, best music in a basketball movie or a sports movie.
And
funky disco. Love it. Love it.
Dr. J's Afro alone deserved an Academy Award.
Oh,
goddamn right.
That's a fun light movie. Gene Siskel thought it was a great movie. Was a light movie. He thought it was the basketball equivalent to Rocky, which Roger Ebert correctly told him it wasn't. I just saw that today. I thought that was funny.
Oh my God, that's so funny. Dave, you haven't seen The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh, have you?
Never even heard of The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh.
Dr. J. Oh, you got
that used to be like, that was one of those movies that, like, on a Saturday night at 9 o'clock, it would be on an old UHF station.
We're forgetting the
Channing is in there as well.
We're forgetting the renaissance of basketball movies, Space Jam.
We haven't gotten there yet. It's going to be coming up.
Well, I know.
Man.
It's my show.
We got Ray Allen. He got Game.
He got Game.
Jesus Shuttleworth.
Shaq was in Blue Chips.
Oh, filmed here in Indiana.
Chips? I don't remember that.
Yeah, you know what? Ray Allen became synonymous with Jesus Shuttleworth. I mean, when they used to wear their nicknames on their shirts, he was Jesus Shuttleworth. And Alex English was in Amazing Grace and Chuck. You guys have never, judging by the blank looks I just saw.
No idea.
Sounds familiar. Yeah.
That was from the 80s. And, of course, like Dan just said, Michael Jordan in Space Jam.
Michael Jordan? Just Michael Jordan? We're not going to mention there. Muggsy Bogues, Larry Johnson, Patrick Ewing, Sean Bradley, Charles Barkley, Larry Bird. How dare you?
Yeah, no, they had a bunch of them. What about Uncut Gems? Who was in that movie? Basketball player.
Gems. I don't know who.
Oh, no. I think I have enough to be depressed about that I didn't need to watch that movie as well.
Kevin Garnett.
Is he in that?
Plays a major role.
Oh, that's the new one. That's why I didn't know that one.
That's... You got to see that movie.
I've heard he's really good in that movie too.
It is his best performance. Did I think he deserved an Oscar nod? I don't know, but
Kevin Garnett?
No, Adam Sandler. It's a wacky movie. You got to see it. The music's weird. It also the lighting. It's dark. It's grimy. There's a lot of commotion going on.
What about that one? What about that one where Billy Crystal plays the basketball ref?
Oh, Forget Paris with Deborah Winger. That's a good movie, too. Kareem's in there. Muggsy's in there.
So why are basketball players in movies so much more than the other sports?
Because they can act.
Yeah. Kareem,
I'm just saying, they can deliver lines. You see other athletes. Hockey players are not in movies.
Yeah,
and they don't talk. They don't talk much because I don't know if you've seen them do an interview. They act the same way. Basketball players can at least deliver lines.
Hey, Mike King was good.
Yeah,
well, I could think of.
Yeah, even like Mike, you have Jason Kidd and a bunch of other players in there. It's like any kind of basketball movie you can think of. Yeah, well, it was on the other day. My wife was watching it for some reason.
Have you seen them flop? Rev.
Air Bud. Wasn't somebody Air Bud too? Wasn't Kareem in Air Bud?
You know how many Air Bud movies there are? There's like 8.
Slam Dunk Ernest was.
There's like 8 of them.
There you go. There's a hockey movie we forgot. MVP.
No, we didn't forget it. It's good.
No, we didn't forget that one.
We didn't forget it. It was by design. A piece of crap.
Well, yeah, when we did baseball movies, we didn't talk about Ed either.
Oh, well.
No,
Lucky you played first base.
Now we're trailing off a little bit. Take it over again, Paul.
Okay.
What's your favorite? What's the favorite basketball movie?
Wait a minute. I had another point. I forgot what it was. Anyway, all right. My favorite movie. It's got to be Hoosiers.
It has to be.
It has to be Hoosiers.
No, it doesn't.
Right.
Yes, it does.
I like Hoosiers, but it's not my favorite basketball movie.
I mean,
what's yours?
But see, the funny thing is, Dave, I'm not in love with Hoosiers, but I couldn't think of a basketball movie I like better than it. So, what do you got?
Dave, what's yours?
White Men Can't Jump.
Oh yeah, okay.
That was number 2.
Yeah, I take it back. Yeah, I'll have to agree with him on that.
I love the
I mean, Rosie Perez. I don't care that there's basketball in that movie.
Money Train was better.
There's a lot more substance to White Men Can't Jump than
on the surface.
Thing
Yeah,
going in, right?
Absolutely.
With the whole gambling addiction piece to it, and I remember watching it for the first time thinking it was just Woody Harrelson and Wesley Snipes playing ball, and there was this whole the whole aspect of gambling and borrowing money from the wrong people drives the whole movie. Without that, it's fluff. So yeah, White Man Can't Jump was my favorite basketball movie.
And didn't Ron Shelton make that movie? Same guy who did Bull Durham.
Directed it? Yeah, he did. He wrote it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, go ahead.
Rev in the chat is saying Above the Rim.
Oh yeah, Above the Rim with
Tupac.
Tupac's in there.
Never heard of it.
Tupac did another basketball movie too, didn't he?
Never mind. I had a line, but I'm going to leave that one.
And of course, Marquise Johnson, another former NBA player, was in White Man Can't Jump. So there you go. Basketball players appearing in basketball movies.
Look at that.
Imagine that.
Not exactly a stretch.
He's the guy who pulls out the gun. I'm going to go back and get my gun. That's
Oh, that guy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Old but memorable. Yeah, can I talk about Hoosiers?
Do it.
When since I cover a lot of high school gyms out here in Indiana, I mean, everywhere you go, you hear Hoosiers. Oh yeah, this is a great gym, and this is what Hoosier hysteria is all about. It's like watching the film Hoosiers. I mean, the gym that they filmed it in was not used for basketball for 19 years, and since then, it gets about 80,000 visitors a year. They still play games. They have high school tournaments. Ball State will play exhibition games there. Indiana Pacers. It's close. Indiana Pacers wear the Hickory uniforms as alternative jerseys. Of course, the Butler Field, Hinkle Fieldhouse is in the movie as well, playing itself. So it's.
Did you just say that Hinkle Fieldhouse played itself?
Played its. Start at itself.
We got to bring the Fieldhouse in for an audition here.
Yeah, we got to bring it in.
Hoosiers. And maybe this is why it's so popular. Hoosiers is the most baseball of basketball movies.
Yes.
Hoosiers has that romance to it that are in so many of those baseball movies.
Yeah, and once again,
just a romantic, Dave.
Set in the 50s, based on Milan High School, which actually did win the state championship in 1954. If you come to Indianapolis and you guys want to visit, we'll go to Bobby's last shot, Plum's last shot. He was the guy who hit the winning bucket in that state final. Nice little place.
Swinging gate.
Nice, yeah. It's just like everywhere. Like if you live in Indiana, Hoosiers is something you grew up with, you watched, and it relates to everything high school basketball. It's just that powerful of a movie, bigger than Rudy, and bigger than some League of Their Own, which also was filmed in Indiana. But Hoosiers took place in Indiana. It put Indiana high school basketball on the map for the rest of the states here. Classic.
Any other noteworthy basketball movies, guys?
Glory Road and Coach Carter are decent for the Disney type. My guilty basketball movie is Space Jam, and it's not because of Michael Jordan or anybody else. It's because of Bugs Bunny and Daffy Duck. And Newman. Newman's pretty good in that.
Yeah.
Yes. Newman.
Oh, nobody mentioned Teen Wolf as a classic basketball movie.
Yeah, you're right. That could be.
Because you put the word classic in front of it.
Yeah.
For crying out loud, there's a Teen Wolf on the floor. Where's that from? No. All right, my guilty pleasures. I got two guilty basketball pleasures. Semi-Pro is one of them.
I don't think I've seen that one.
That's the Will Ferrell, Woody Harrelson.
The Flint Tropics.
The Flint Tropics.
Oh yeah, no, I've not seen it. That's why.
It starts off with the song "Love Me Sexy," and I'm hooked right off the bat. So, and then there's another movie, Celtic Pride.
Oh yeah.
Dan Aykroyd, Daniel Stern, Damon Wayans. Damon Wayans plays a star basketball player from the Utah Jazz who's killing the Celtics in the NBA Finals, so these two crazy obsessed fans kidnap him during the finals. And just looking at their apartment, somebody once said that, and you guys have all seen the man cave. They was like, if you didn't like girls so much, that's what your house would have looked like, Paul. So those are my guilty basketball movies.
Paul Rev said that Glory Road is a good one.
Yeah, I've seen Glory Road. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Again, I mean, I won't quibble over, how far it strayed from the truth, but because that's not why we watch a movie.
It's a movie, yeah. It goes to the same thing as the Marvel movies, where people are like, that deviated exactly how the comics had it. And I was like, will you relax?
Yeah, but for those movies, if it was just like the comic books, why would you watch the movie? You saw it, you read.
It's like I've seen it. I already know what happens.
Yeah. All right. So is that all we got for basketball? That seemed like it was a much shorter segment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know. We talk longer about it maybe because we're bigger hockey fans. I don't know. We talk longer about hockey movies. So let's talk about other sports because there are more sports than just the big four. And so I guess question number one would be boxing. I was going through other sports from other movies. 2/3 of these other sports are boxing movies.
Boxing movies.
What is it about boxing movies that makes it's the story, right?
I mean, Rocky. Did everything come after Rocky, or were they boxing movies before Rocky?
Before.
Raging Bull, sir.
Yeah.
Raging Bull. Raging Bull might be. Some people put that
Raging
as
Bull, that
their
came after
top
Rocky.
sports movie of all time.
No, it's classic.
I put it as my top only because Rocky is shoved down my throat, being from the area so much. I'm like, hey, I love Rocky. I love the fake guy that we have a statue about, but we don't have a statue of Sugar Ray Leonard up there. We have Rocky.
You know, I was in the gift shop across from the Liberty Bell one time, and they had a statue of the Rocky statue, a little miniature one about yay big. I was like, oh, that's got to go in the man cave. I picked it up. It was $200. Go right back down.
You know what's interesting about the boxing movies is they probably get the most love from the Academy. Right? You had Rocky was a
Oscar winner.
Oscar winner. Was $1 Million Baby?
Yes, that one.
Oh yeah,
$1 Million Baby. Yep.
That's a movie I can only watch once though. You know, it's like, oh boy.
Raging Bull didn't win, but it probably should have.
Dave, what were you gonna say?
Cinderella Man, wasn't it in that range too?
Cinderella
I don't know if
Man's
it won,
really
but
good.
I'm pretty sure it was.
It didn't win, but it was
nominated. The Hurricane.
Oh,
you know,
Hurricane.
Compared to football, basketball, baseball, boxing gets way more love from the Academy than anything else. I don't know why, but
because of the story, I guess. And how about when Will Smith played Muhammad Ali and what was it? This is Ali.
Ali. Just Ali.
Well, yeah,
Ali, just Ali.
Yeah, and I think he was
I
nominated.
thought that movie sucked big ones, man. I thought that was a horrible movie.
You know what? If you saw We Are Kings, which was a documentary on Ali,
I have seen, yeah.
That once you watch that, you can't watch Ali. Sort of like, when you watch Man on the Moon about Andy Kaufman. If you've seen any of those documentaries about him, that ruins it as well. And I think that's what Ali was when We Were Kings was a much better film.
maybe so. Yeah. So so many boxing movies out there. All right, guys. So the big question: favorite Rocky movie? Go.
5.
3? Really?
Yeah.
Thunder Lips.
Wait, I was not expecting that answer.
None of Mr. T in it.
Yeah, none of them were. I'm not a big boxing movie fan. I'm not a big boxing fan at all. I think 3 was just in my wheelhouse. It was like at the perfect time when I was a kid, right? Like, Rocky, I was too little for the original. Rocky 4 was stupid.
I must thank you.
Come on, he ended the Cold War.
Yeah.
I didn't think much none of you either.
Rocky 5 was terrible. Rocky 4.
I didn't mind Rocky
3 was
5.
the one. 3 was the one that I saw first.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, Thunder Lips, you ready for that Polaroid now or what?
Yeah, and sure, when it came out, right? The A-Team was out, so Mr. T
That's right.
and Hulk Hogan and the whole.
Who?
And so, why did Mr. T get a rematch? I mean, he just kind of went away.
I don't know.
Because his last name wasn't Creed.
Yes.
It's just a movie, right, Paul?
What?
And that's. I would say the first 2 tell really good stories, and then it gets franchise-like after. You're just trying to make a buck. But then he comes back with Rocky Balboa and Creed and Creed 2. So
Rocky Balboa is great. My mom told me to see Creed and Creed 2, and I still haven't.
Creed is good. I've seen Creed.
She's gonna yell at me later.
And I think those were up for Oscars too.
Really?
Yeah. Well, Stallone got a nod for Best Supporting in Creed, and that might have been up for one of the. Yeah, like you're saying, the Academy loves boxing movies.
Interesting point.
Make a boxing movie.
Well, here's another one that's not quite a boxing movie, but it's pretty close. And the Academy loved it. The Wrestler.
Yeah, you're right. Mickey Rourke.
Well, Marissa Tomei was in it, so that right off the bat makes it okay.
Everybody loves Marissa Tomei. It doesn't matter how old.
That was one of those movies I could only watch once too. It was just so dark and depressing, and it was good. the first time I watched it, but it was just there was nothing happy about it.
Dan, as a resident WrestleManiac,
Teen Wolf 2
you
was
didn't like it, huh?
boxing movie.
No comment.
You like the original wrestler with
I've never seen it.
Ganya.
I've never seen it. I know it exists. I've seen clips of the movie. I know it exists.
I have a copy of it. It's really bad.
I've seen it. Yeah, no, it's terrible because Vernon Gagne is also terrible. No, I've seen the bulk of it, but I've not seen it from start to front. From start to front, from start to finish. The wrestler is... It's one of those... Okay, so the movie itself, I can't remember it because I watched it once and I tapped out. It's one of those movies...
Tapped out. I get it.
Thank you. I'm a punny guy. It's one of those movies here. I'm going to do the example so you can see it on the screen, where even in the scenes with the deli, where he's just doing mundane tasks, the camera does this. When it's filming it, I can't freaking stand it. Another, the perfect example to a recent movie is First Man. Really wanted to see First Man, and there's a scene at the very beginning of the movie where he's just looking at his daughter or the baby just playing in front of him, and the camera won't sit still. I'm like, no. I'm out. I can't stand that Michael Bay crap. Catherine Bigelow does it correctly, where she moves it very slightly, but she never has a static shot. But all these other directors, stop it! So that's what I remember about that movie. That, and they used the CZW, and my friend is in several shots of that movie who's since passed. But other than that, I don't care about Mickey Rourke or Darren Aronofsky. I don't care. Thank you, Rev. He loves the setup. In Periscope, anyway.
So let's see. What other sports get a lot of love from movies? What?
Days of Thunder.
NASCAR.
Days of
How many
Thunder.
NASCAR movies out there?
7.
Ricky Bobby. Talladega Nights.
7 in 40 years. I don't know. Listen, I know...
I've never seen Days of Thunder.
Days of Thunder is the Top Gun in cars, and Top Gun is a piece of crap. And I know Top Gun... I'm saying this now. Top Gun is a bad movie. But it's a fun movie. It's still bad. Days of Thunder is that bad. But I love that movie. Plus, to see Carrie Elways play a southern prick villain bad guy in this movie... That never gets that. Also, to see a sex scene in silhouette between Nicole Kidman, who's like 6'10", and Tom Cruise, who's like 5 feet, is very funny. But everybody in that movie, it's one of those movies where you look at the cast list, you're like, wow, this is like a who's who. How are they all in this movie? Even Fred Thompson plays like a role. I'm not even sure what he plays in that movie because it gets kind of fuzzy in the middle. Like, why is this guy telling these guys that? Whatever. But even Fred Thompson plays a great role, and he's in it for like 2 minutes. It's just great. Randy Quaid plays a role. Robert Duvall. Who's the guy? He's in Ricky Bobby. John C. Reilly. Tom Cruise, Nicole Kidman, Michael Rooker. Like I said, Carrie Elways. And other bit parts you see. Wait, they're in movies now. It's great. That's one of my favorite movies, and I know it's cheesy. I know it's bad, but I was a NASCAR fanatic when I was a kid, and I have fond memories of that movie. And that's as much as I'm going to expound on that topic.
I saw Days of Thunder in the theater. And it was packed. I was in the front row.
Yeah.
So, can you imagine, you go see anything in the front row and Days of Thunder where they
crush us in the front row.
It helps that it was directed by a competent director, and it was not Ridley Scott, it was his brother. And now
Scott.
Bill Scott. No, he's... Oh, damn it. Never mind.
Well, let's bounce on to some of the most highly regarded movies belong to other sports. Talk about like Chariots of Fire.
Tony Scott.
Which I saw Chariots of Fire in the theater and hated it. But of course I was 16 and I wanted to see it. I wanted to see a movie with boobs.
Oh yeah. You can't say that. You're a
Chariots
sexist.
of Fire, so
you're not allowed to say boobs. You're sexist, Paul.
Yeah, I know.
Chariots of Fire is great. It was Tony Scott, by the way, Ridley Scott's brother.
Oh yeah, we're watching Chariots of Fire as an adult. Absolutely fantastic.
Oh yeah, see. But as a kid, you're like, no.
I want silly things. I want people falling down.
Movies.
Breaking Away. You guys are probably too old to remember.
Love Breaking Away. No, I know Breaking Away.
Didn't that take place in Indiana? Is that another Indiana Heartland movie?
That is based on the Little 500 that takes place annually at Indiana University. And this was Jackie Earl Haley's in there with Dennis Quaid and Bruce Stern, and forget the other gentleman. And they're a bunch of local guys that don't go to college.
Daniel Stern was in that movie.
Daniel Stern, that's it. And they're called the Cutters, and I don't know if that's based because I think the stone cutting of Lime Rock down in Indiana. But it's an awesome movie, and that's about cycling, and it's about the Little 500 race, which I think they wind up winning. And if you look at the Little 500, which draws huge crowds to IU every year, there's always a team called the Cutters, probably based off that movie.
Yeah. It's one of those movies, after you see it, you feel like, all right, I'm going to get on a bike now and start training, because this movie's just pumped me up. Yeah. That
was also up for an Academy Award for Best Picture. And the part where they're jumping into the water quarry, always wanted to go see that, but apparently it's off limits or it doesn't exist anymore.
All right, here are a couple other movies. You may not think of them as sports movies, but maybe you will. The Hustler and The Color of Money.
Yeah, Hustler's about Paul. Yeah.
Yeah, Color of Money is too.
Yep. Yeah, it's the same character, right? Paul Newman?
Yes, Paul Newman played the same character, only like 20, 30 years later.
Yeah, right. And he won a best actor, which a lot of people say that wasn't his best film, but they felt like they screwed him over a few times, so let's do it.
He kind of got the Career Achievement Academy Award.
Yeah, The Hustler's a much better movie, but yeah, The Color of Money.
Yeah.
It's got
Tom Cruise. It was a good movie. It was a little bit more 80-fied, if that could be, if I can coin a phrase.
It was in color. Didn't have Jackie Gleason though, so it was
right.
Awesome, and that's Minnesota Fats.
All right, how about The Karate Kid?
Karate Kid's a sport movie. You have to include it, but we don't think of it as a sport movie. That's the genius of it.
The real Karate Kid, not that I only got this movie because my dad is Will Smith and I'm doing kung fu and not
the
really
real
karate.
One. Oh, look where that got him.
Have any of you guys ever seen the YouTube clip that says the real hero is the William Zabka character, and the real bad guy is what's his name there?
Dude, that's what Danny Zuko. No. Danny Zuko. That's what they've touched upon in the Cobra Kai series. They've reversed roles. Billy Zabka is the good guy, and Zuko is just this douchebag villain now, which is touching upon how people view the actual ending of that movie. Like, well, Daniel's kind of a dick, I would know. And the other guy's not so bad.
There is a YouTube clip where a guy does clips of the movie and narrates it and was saying, look, Billy Zabka is just minding his own business, rolling a doob in the toilet, not doing that, not bothering anybody. The other guy comes in, pours water on him.
It's Johnny, by the way.
Johnny.
Sweep the leg, Johnny. Didn't you ever hear that song that came out in like 2005 or 6? There was like a sequel to the Karate Kid franchise. It was a song called Sweep the Leg, Johnny, and it has everybody in it and the band that recorded it. But it's
I haven't heard that.
Oh, you gotta look it up. It's great. It's actually a pretty decent song, but there's a little mini sequel that takes place within this movie, this music video. It's very good. I can't remember the name of the band. I'm old.
Yeah, you are old.
You're mentioning movies that were made in the 30s silently. I don't want to hear your mouth.
Marx Brothers were not silent movies.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, silent movies 1927, right? That's when it changed.
Oh my God! No More Kings was the band. It's very good.
And we haven't mentioned what might be the best sports movie of all time here, guys. Caddyshack.
Caddyshack is definitely a classic. It's a sports movie. It's damn funny.
No?
It is not as good as Happy Gilmore.
Oh. That is the worst take of this whole 2 hours.
You know what?
Bad.
I just watched Caddyshack yesterday, and I was like, I didn't understand Chevy Chase's character. I didn't understand why he was there. I didn't understand what the point was.
We watching Caddyshack 2 by chance?
No, I wondered.
No! Nobody watches Caddyshack 2. Not even the people that made Caddyshack 2 watches Caddyshack.
Ooh, that was awful. That's painful.
Dave?
No, it was
Dave?
not as good as I expected it to be. And Happy Gilmore is probably one of those guilty movies.
Yeah, yeah, that's one of my guilty movies for sure.
Dave. Yeah, but that's like one of my favorite sports movies, but you can't say it's a hockey or a golf movie. It's really a golf movie, but...
It's a golf movie.
Got the hop line.
How dare you? No, it's not, Rev. Happy Gilmore's not better than Caddyshack. I'm done. I'm moving on. I'm not, not having this conversation.
Bob Barker
I don't
and
give
Adam
a...
Sandler fighting.
That's better than Caddyshack.
Right
No, Lacey Underall is worth it.
I just didn't like the Happy Gilmore character. Like he was getting upset over everything.
No, he's an a-hole. Happy Gilmore is an asshole.
Yeah, I love Happy Gilmore. It's one of my favorite movies.
Oh, I love that movie. It's
not better than Caddyshack.
I love that movie. And it's not better than Caddyshack. In no world, in no planet of the universe, including the dwarf planet, which is still a planet to me, Pluto, is Caddyshack worse than Happy Gilmore. It is better. You won't say 8 seconds. You will take my hot take. No, I won't, Rev. Your hot take is garbage, and I throw it in the trash where it belongs.
8 seconds.
What I will give you, Dave, is without Rodney Dangerfield, Caddyshack's not anywhere close.
Shut your...
Rodney
Dangerfield Rodney Dangerfield and Ted Knight could have done that movie by themselves.
No, we're not. We're absolutely not discussing this any further because I'm actually getting mad. I'm actually getting mad. Don't finish that sentence. Don't finish the sentence.
Murray could have been like the cartoon before Caddyshack.
I'm muting him and we're deleting him from the show.
In the movie, I think they created his character just so they had a way to end the whole thing. How can we blow up the whole golf course?
How can we blow up the whole golf course with Dave in it? There's nobody there. We could get away with it. Wait, Mark. Before we continue, before Rev says something else that's gonna make me mad, please talk about 8 seconds, so I can tell him that Caddyshack is better than anything he just mentioned, and be quiet. What's 8 seconds?
8 Seconds is a movie about bull riding, starring Luke Perry.
I'm already disinterested.
That's all you need to say.
That's better than Caddyshack, right, guys?
Hey, how about Dodgeball?
That's not better than Caddyshack.
Dodgeball's better than Caddyshack, right, Dave?
You know what?
How dare you?
Dodgeball's on my to-do list.
How dare
Dodgeball's good.
You've never seen it? It's candy. It's empty
very quotable.
Calories, but it's funny. It's got some moments in it.
No, it's got Ben Stiller in it playing an outrageous villain. So
ESPN 8, the Ocho.
On the Ocho?
That's where we get that from, the Ocho. So.
I like it when ESPN brings that back. They're going to have to do that soon. They got nothing else to air but that and WWE reruns.
All right,
Dave. I thought Dave was going to say something else was going to make me mad. Go ahead, Mark.
I do have a guilty pleasure sports movie, Bring It On.
Oh, I was just going to talk about Bring It On. Yes. The
competitive
movie.
Kirsten Dunst versus Gabrielle Union. Oh
boy.
Careful.
A solid movie there.
It's a solid teen movie. There are some really corny, like you can't watch it now. It just seems so dated. But
yes, I can.
You know, the whole concept is still pretty awesome to see those two leads go at it.
I can watch it still. Nobody's going to see me watching it.
We talked a bit about the Disney sports movie. The best Disney sports movie is in this category, and it's Cool Runnings.
Yeah, that's my guilty pleasure.
Oh,
right there. Cool Runnings.
John Candy classic.
I was gonna close with Cool Runnings.
There you go.
I'm feeling very Olympic.
Want to kiss my egg?
That's like John Candy's last movie that came out before his death, and it was a serious role for him, and I think he pulled it off.
Yeah, we remember that because we don't remember Wagons East because it's a piece of crap.
No, he didn't finish that one before he passed.
Yeah, but it came out.
Canadian Bacon, I don't think he finished, but
yes, he did. He finished Canadian. He finished Canadian.
Yeah.
I'm right on most things, Paul.
Yeah, he died on set. Yeah.
Yeah, no, he finished Canadian Bacon and thankfully didn't finish Wagons East because holy Jesus Christ.
Ooh, yeah, and you watch it and you're like, this is your last movie. Oh, just shaking.
He didn't know.
I know. Well, he did some bad movies around that time too, but
He is in
Another
Rookie.
time.
And to bring it back to sports movies, he's in Rookie of the Year.
He's in Rookie of the Year. Nice cameo.
Oh yeah.
What?
Well, look at that. Any other sports movies worth mentioning that we have omitted? Bend It Like Beckham.
Bend It. Oh, you beat me to it. That's a great movie.
Secretariat.
Bend It Like Beckham.
Tin Cup.
Tin Cup. I like Tin Cup.
Underrated movie.
Kingpin.
Oh, I got Fever Pitch.
Yes.
The UK version. Fever Pitch.
Fever Pitch. I've heard of that one, but Kingpin got a mention earlier on Twitch.
Colin Firth version.
And yeah,
I always wanted to see that because Fever Pitch is absolute garbage.
It's got Jimmy Fallon in it. That's the problem.
Undead Lord said Seabiscuit.
Yeah, Seabiscuit was a good movie.
I like reading these screen names to people who don't know. These people are like, what? Yeah, I said Undead Lord. Shut up. Respect Undead Lords.
That's probably where we should wrap it up. We've touched probably like 70 or 80 different sports today, huh?
We did.
This was fun, guys, and I hope you all enjoyed sitting with us for 2 hours as we talked through movies, and we learned that Dave has absolutely no taste at the end.
Oh, I'm disappointed in Dave so much. Everything you say now is suspect.
To all our listeners on Facebook Live and Twitter Live and Twitch, thanks for listening and thanks for participating, man. I love that you guys made the show for me. So, Dan, where can our listeners follow you?
Follow me at DanLaw83.
Mark, how about you? Where can our listeners follow you online?
You can follow me on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter at Ballpark Hunter.
And
Mark,
Dave,
you forgot.
Where can our listeners send their hate mail to you?
At Puckman RI. Twitter and Instagram at ProFan9.
In all seriousness, Dave, I do love Happy Gilmore, so I can't totally hate you.
I love Happy Gilmore too. He just happens to be incorrect in this instance.
I'm just not a big Adam Sandler guy. He's okay.
That's why ice
That's
cream
the
has all
only
different
Adam
flavors.
Sandler movie I like.
Yeah.
The Wedding Singer is great. Never mind. Go ahead, Paul.
Yeah, no, there's some good ones.
Take it back, Paul, for Christ's sake.
And you can follow my stadium journeys when they start happening again on Twitter or Instagram at PuckmanRI.
Should we call the show Temporary Stadium Chilling Out?
Hey, I'm doing my part to put up content. So
Mark is putting up 5 articles a week. The rest of us maybe 1.
What are we
right
going to
now, you can read about Belarus and soccer.
When are we going to talk about the XFL?
We can hear about the XFL folder. You could read about Evansville's Bossy Fields getting a new roof and scoreboard. So
did you hear about the latest of the XFL?
League of the Run.
Yeah. Did you hear the latest? He's going to try to sell it. I don't know. Every time I give Vince credit for being a good promoter, I know Dave has to go. I'll stop talking. He just does something stupid. Like, I don't know. Guy's a jackass. He's still Florida deemed WWE essential business today. Yeah, whatever. Okay.
Hey, visit our website during this time of social distancing, stadiumjourney.com. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Stadium Journey. You can find the Stadium Journey podcast at thebradyhicks.com or search VOC Nation on whatever podcast app you use. And we're now simulcasting live, as some of you know, twitch.tv/DanLaw83. We're on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitter Live, everywhere, all over the place.
We're live.
And join us next week. We're actually going week by week right now to fill in your sporting void. And we'll be joined by our California correspondent, Dre Ojeda. So for Dan Colachico, Mark Viquez, and Dave Cotney, I'm Paul Baker. Until we meet again, everybody, take care of yourselves and take care of each other.